Hey everyone, Fina here from Fina Reads. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to talk with you about Nightfall by Isaac Asimov for you today. This book, y'all, but it's Sci-Fi September, so I had to talk about a classic sci-fi author, in particular about this short story collection that I've read not too long ago. He is very well known for his Foundation series, for his I, Robot series that I still have to read, god damn it. But a couple of weeks ago, I read this short story collection and I was blown away, and it catapulted Asimov onto the top of my favorite sci-fi authors by a long shot. So let me tell you a little bit more about the short story collection. So first of all, there are 20 short stories. They are all accompanied by an intro from Isaac Asimov, where he gives you a little bit more information about how the short story came about, a bit more detail, background information. And let me tell you, this man's humor completely aligns with mine. The stories this man is telling, I was laughing my ass off in some cases. It is fantastic. Like, just his snark, you know, he has some snarkiness to him that I just can't appreciate. And usually I don't read these intros. Like, Stephen King is known for writing intros for his short stories. I skip those usually. I don't care what your motivation was. This one I did though, and those intros were as entertaining as the short stories themselves. He writes very typical classical sci-fi. It's actually pretty straightforward, more on the entertainment side. That is also something very interesting about him, where others like Ray Bradbury have a rather philosophical taste, right? They want to talk about the big topics in their books and in their short stories. While he does this too, to an extent, I feel his focus really is more on entertainment value. And as he explains in some of those intros, sometimes he just got prompts from those magazines, and that's what his short story then revolved around. And it didn't have any like bigger meaning, or I just didn't see it. That could also totally be it. But more entertainment value. And that entertainment value definitely kept me going with these short stories. The other interesting thing is he has a ginormous breadth of topics he can talk about. Some of these short stories are near future, something like a conversation in a lab about whatever was going on at that moment, up to thousands and thousands of years in the future, thousands and thousands of miles away, maybe not even a human life form, and everything in between. And a third fun fact about Asimov, and I remember that about the Foundation trilogy as well, is he throws you into a scene. Literally, it's not prep and intro and these are the characters and this is a world. No, you're in the middle of whatever is going on. And you're figuring out what's happening while you're reading it. And that, in some cases, took a little bit, that I needed a paragraph or a page or 2 pages where I'm like, okay, what the F is going on here right now? But in most cases, it actually helped the story, I thought. So let me tell you about a couple of those. I will not tell you about all 20 short stories. That would go way too far, and I don't think you would want to listen to me talk about 20 short stories. Just grab the book and read them. They are all short enough. But I want to talk with you about a couple of those that stood out to me and that I really enjoyed and that I thought make this short story collection especially interesting. Starting with the name giver of the short story collection, which is Nightfall, which was voted the best short story of all times in 1964, and I couldn't agree more with it. This short story was awesome. Nightfall is about a planet somewhere far away with, I think, 5 or 6 suns, and the people living on this planet have never experienced night because of the 6 suns that are rotating around the planet or around, you know, the solar system in some sort. They never experience night. It's always day. It's always light out. And while they understand the concept of darkness, they've never actually really experienced it. But now we're in a situation where this is happening for the very first times in many, 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 many years. It's only one sun left in the sky and it's about to set. And yeah, things are happening. Nothing horror elementy, no worries. It's really sci-fi specific. The next one that I really enjoyed is the second short story in the book called Green Patches, where you are following an alien life form that snuck onto a spaceship that is on its way back to Earth. And you are learning about the life form by it observing the humans around it. So the life form is not telling you what it is all about. and why it snuck onto the spaceship and what their purpose is in life. You're learning it through its eyes from the humans around it that are on the spaceship, which I thought was such a unique narrative style. And then plus the ending, because once you learned what this life form is about, there's a big consequence at the end, and you're going through a short thought process of the relevant folks involved on making a decision on what they want to do right now. That is one that is a bit more philosophical in that sense, but also has great entertainment value, because it's really fascinating to learn about that alien. To highlight one of those stories that is a bit more near future on Earth, Sally, which is the 8th short story in the book, is about self-driving cars and if they have a conscience. So you have a farm where self-driving cars can live and roam freely and basically enjoy their life without being forced into gears or into driving wherever they want and whatnot. And you have a group of people who are trying to steal these cars. And this one is fascinating because you're not viewing that from the car's side, but from the owner of the farm and his relationship to the cars that are living on that farm. As the story unfolds, that relationship becomes interesting to an extent. Also, at least for me, since I'm very interested in AI as a topic in general, that concept of the self-driving cars and how they are conscious, like how that all is explained, was very fascinating to me, and actually had me afterwards sit for a second and was like, okay. Since it is a very real topic at the moment with AI being such a hype, right? And everything has AI in it. I mean, your toaster has AI, which is, again, fascinating if you think about when this was written, 50s, 60s. And where we are now, and that he had such an advanced knowledge of how self-driving cars potentially would turn out. Incredible. The last story that I want to highlight is number 11, which is called It's Such a Beautiful Day. In this world, this is a little bit further down in the future, but still very earthly type of world, where people, if they want to go somewhere else, they move through the door with a capital D, and it's basically teleporting. And again, right, Asimov throws you into the situation where you have a woman and her son, and the son needs to get to school, but the door with a capital D is not working. There's a malfunction. So she says, okay, use the door with a lower D, use the regular door, that old-fashioned one, go to the neighbors and go through their door with a capital D. By the way, that is kind of a fun thing throughout the entire story. My type of humor. Again, I'm fully aware it's not everybody's type of humor. But then something happens. The boy comes home late from school. He's kind of off, and his mother is really concerned about it. And she is starting to think like maybe he needs to go to a doctor or something. So, what are we doing here? The reveal of the story was just so beautiful and honest to an extent that, yeah, that story, that's why I wanted to highlight this story as well. So I hope by talking through 4 rather different stories, you kind of see the breadth that he has and the type of topics he talks about. So I hope that helped a little bit. It definitely got me more excited to read more Asimov. I'm looking now into reading this whole, the combination of the Foundation and the iRobot series and read more of his work, just because I truly connect with his writing style and with his storytelling approach. And I cannot wait to read more by him. If you've read Nightfall and Other Stories or other short stories by him, let me know down in the comments which one your favorite were or which one you enjoyed in general. And then I hope you enjoyed the rest of your Sci-Fi September. And I'll see you soon with my next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!